welcome to the Let's Play of Dragon Ball Z LSW. My name's Alex Philly and I'm going to play the game. So, we have the main story of Dragon Ball here. For those who don't know, it's all about collecting 7 mystical balls that grant wishes. And there's the main hero, Goku with the spiky hair. And that's his wife and kid. But disaster happens when Raditz appears, who happens to be the brother of Goku, who is also an alien from space, a race known as the Saiyans that destroy planets. But the planet Vegeta was destroyed. So Raditz wants Goku to become evil and work with him, but Goku decides not to join Raditz's evil force. So Raditz kidnaps Gohan, and it's up to Goku and Piccolo to save the day. And Gohan wakes up and dum dum dum, special beam cannon right in the chest for Raditz and Goku. Dead! And then story begins with the first mission, which is Gohan training under Piccolo. And so, a new story begins with Gohan 6 months later training because Raditz's friends Vegeta and Nappa are coming in space pods and they're going to be much stronger than Raditz. So Gohan needs to train with Piccolo. Just so you know, I'm going to skip some of the deck building because that's boring, so I'll just show you the main story instead. There's a few basic choices you can make in story mode, but most of them are quite simple and lead to the same conclusions. Or you can get special items. The Saiyans are arriving early. Gohan, this is the final lesson. And so the first battle of story mode begins as we play Kid Gohan against Piccolo. Okay, so on the top of the screen you can see the 2 names of the characters and the 2 health bars. And as this is a turn-based game, one character attacks while the other defends, and after each turn they swap over. Okay, so a few basic things. Okay, so there's some limit slots where you can assign different special attacks for each particular character. So for example here, I've got the 6th stage attack, which is basically a way of generating the CC, which is what you need to do moves. And 6th stage is the best of these ones that generate CC. And then I've also equipped Masenko, which is a beam attack, which is useful if the character is in the air. And then the tail attack, which is a melee or damage attack, which is best used if the opponent's on the ground. And you can see those moves cost a certain amount of CC, and you start the battle with 10 and you earn more by surviving and by using certain cards like Capsule Cup Fridge, for example, which restores CC, which I'm going to use right now. And the enemy player, the enemy computer, which is Piccolo, is using a 3-stage attack to gain CC. As you can see in this game, Kid Gohan and Piccolo are wearing the same uniform. Alright, so time for me to do a stage attack, which will give me some CC. You only have a short amount of time to put these inputs in. So there I managed about half of them, and then you can try and press one of the buttons to either block to cancel, or you can try and continue the combo using B, although that's quite risky because you need to be really specific on the timing there. Alright, so now I'm going to move a bit closer to Piccolo so that my stage attacks hit better. And then Piccolo's doing another stage attack on me right now. So as you can see, most of the stage attacks don't really do a lot of damage health wise. In fact, most of that's just to build up energy really. Okay, so I have a few cards here. I've got After Image, which makes me dodge more. I've got Enchantment Belt, which blocks all these melee attacks. And I've got an Energy Wave, which is a basic beam. For now, I'm going to charge up, and then I'm going to use After Image, gather CC, and then I'm going to try and use Tail. As you can see, Piccolo's used After Image. So, if you look on the top right of the screen right now, you should be able to see the After Image logo, which is right next on the right hand side of where the star is. And that means if I try and attack him with a beam or a damage attack right now, there's a chance that he might dodge it. And that would be a shame because most of my attacks are quite demanding on CC, so I really don't want to waste them. So I have to think of a way of getting rid of that After Image. The best way is to use a low CC attack, such as Energy Beam, Energy Bomb, Continuous Punch is a good one. So for now, I'm going to play it safe and I'm going to use some 6-stage attack cards. Okay, didn't do that well. Should be able to solve some of that. So if you time it well, you can still fix most of the errors that you made. Sometimes it's possible to fix an entire 6-stage, but it gets tricky if you try and do that all the time. So I'm going to use After Image as a precaution so that I don't take too much damage. With After Image, there's no guarantee that an attack will be blocked, although there's a good chance it'll either your character will either auto-endure it, which means he'll take a lot less damage, or he'll even auto-dodge, which means that there's no damage taken at all, and the enemy's wasted a lot of CC. Okay, I'm just going to gather a bit more CC, and then I'm going to go on the offensive. Here we go. There we go, done it. So once you've done the stage attack, it's quite straightforward. Unless the enemy uses something like Time Freeze, or some other cards which make your stage attack instantly fail. So you either need to repair it or just try and wait till next time. Okay, I'm going to move a bit closer, and since Piccolo uses Beam a lot, I'm going to stay on the ground. If you stay on the ground, you've got high defense against beams, and if you stay in the air, you've got high defense against melee attacks. And you take slightly less damage if you use the guard move on your defense, although I can't really recommend that too highly. And you can also have a look at your character's stats. So here, for example, we have Kid Gohan, and I've put 1 star on life, 1 star on strength, and 2 stars on ki. You get an extra bonus star for each level you go up. So from level 2, 3, 4 and 5 you get an extra 4 stars, and that requires 500 experience points, which takes a while, but some of the other levels are easy to reach. Okay, so I'm going to try and attack him with Cunt Punch. And Cunt Punch is basically a continuous punch which is quite easy to do, and it costs low CC, so it's good to keep using. Let's see what happens now. Piccolo has auto-blocked it thanks to the After Image, but After Image only lasts for 1 attack, so now he does not have After Image, which means it'll be a lot easier to damage him next time. Okay, I'm going to guard and see what he does. Quite commonly you see the computer players do the following: they will charge up, use a stage attack, and then use a strong energy beam, or occasionally they will charge, use a strong attack, and then a stage. And occasionally they'll charge, use 2 sets of stage attacks, and then use their energy attack afterwards. And some characters, such as Berta or Ginyu, will use their melee attack instead of the damage. Alright, I might as well play it safe and use some energy waves. These will do slightly less damage than some of my other attacks, but they should also be quite useful here. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, so I've taken Piccolo's health down to about 35%, but now Piccolo's probably going to use an attack on me. It's worth to note that if a character takes damage, they get a bit of CC. Yeah, I'm getting the special beam cannon here, which thankfully has a slightly lower accuracy than some attacks. And I've blocked it, which means I take less damage, but now my after image card is gone. Now the question is, do I try and use a very strong attack or should I use lots of weak attacks? Well, personally I'd go for the first option to use weak attacks, because then if he happens to block it, then I've always got some extra moves I can use. The shockwave card would stop any melee attack from doing damage. So for example, if I tried to use continuous punch there, shockwave would have stopped it. And in the same way, avoidance, the avoiding card would stop beam damage. So now I've got to be quite careful here, so I'm going to put after image on just in case Piccolo tries something. He's gathering power, so that means the next few turns are going to be quite risky for me. But hopefully I should be able to beat him. Should be quite easy. In theory, only a few stage attacks should finish him off. But I could always try and do it the fancy way by using continuous punch. Let's see if Piccolo manages to block my attack. If he doesn't block it, then I win. He's used endurance, which will make him auto block, but he'll still take some damage, which thankfully will lead to my victory. And there we go, the first battle is over. Kid Gohan wins. And after each win in story mode, you can take some cards. These are randomly picked. The first one is usually a character card. So for example, if I fight against Piccolo, I get one of Piccolo's cards. And here I'm going to pick Trunks' sword because I've only got 8 of those. The Saiyans come. So the first few levels take place in the Saiyan saga, and then each main saga is split up into 10 battles. The Saiyan saga takes up the first 4 segments of the first 10 battles, and the other 6 are on Namek. So here we've got Gohan and Piccolo meeting up with Krillin, talking about the full moon, which is where the Saiyans turn into great apes. And now Vegeta is talking to Nappa. And now they've revealed that Piccolo's a Namekian from the planet Namek, which we'll reveal more about later in the story. So the Saiyans are very desperate to get the Dragon Balls so they can wish for immortality. And later on Goku's friends come, but they all die in the battle, such as Yamcha, Chatsu and Tien. They all end up dying, one after another. And then Vegeta says he's going to wait for Goku. So 3 hours pass, no sign of Goku, so Vegeta gets impatient and he says that they can start fighting again. And then Nappa gets quite impatient, he's fighting with the heroes. And then they sense Goku coming, and Vegeta notices it's a strong ki. So Vegeta tells Nappa to beat them. And since they don't need Piccolo anymore, then they can get rid of them. Because if Piccolo comes from the planet Namek, then there should be Dragon Balls on the planet Namek. But if Piccolo dies here, then the Earth Dragon Balls would be ruined. And in the meantime, Gohan is on the other end of a beam. But someone saves Gohan, and that someone is Piccolo, who steps in front of the beam. But sadly, that means Piccolo is going to die, and the Earth's Dragon Balls will disappear, along with Kami, the current guardian of the Earth. And Gohan gets annoyed and goes, "Wah!" And then the second battle begins. Saving the game, Okay, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next part of the Dragon Ball Z LSW Let's Play video, starring me, Alex Philly. See you next time.